Okay, anyways, I'm back finally. Yeah, so it's been very weird actually. I've been back now for a week actually. Well, almost a week. I left a week today. For a very quick, basically family trip. So that's why there weren't any videos last week, which I do apologize. Um, but we will be getting back to videos this week, actually. And I sort of want to talk about the schedule for videos because I've had a lot of different upload schedules over the years. Like originally it was like every single day, film, record, edit, upload every single day. And then I moved to, I think it was every other day, so record, edit the second day, and upload that same second day. And that worked for a bit, but now I'm back to sort of like 3 to 4 days a week for videos, and I'm still going to try to maintain that schedule. At least 4 videos a week, which is quite a fair bit with stuff going on at the moment. And you might be wondering, like, because I do also have a bunch of stuff coming, actually. Like, if you guys see the wall of games I have behind me, and sort of the Switch collection, which I will be talking about in a future video where I talk about how do I buy games and stuff like that. Like, I have about I have a lot of very, very high expensive games in that collection behind me. I do have a couple orders that I'm still waiting for. And I can actually tell you when I ordered them. I just actually ordered another 4 games as of recording. So the set that I'm looking that I'm wait. Oh, I'm stupid. Actually. So I'm just correcting that list right now. So I still have another 4 games coming for a total of 8 in 2 different orders. So basically, I have 9 games split between the first 2 orders, and then I have another 4 coming. I already have the first 5 games in that list. The initial order. Those those 5 games were ordered Christmas Eve and arrived on the 17th of January. Wait, let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, on January. So the next 4, which was the second order, they were ordered January 4th. Wasn't going to ship out until the 18th. Unfortunately, that order got delayed because 3 of those games unfortunately were sort of out of stock and stuff like that, so it got shifted to February. Yeah, so it got shifted to February. So they'll be shipping in theory Monday. In theory. And you might be wondering, okay, how long do you think it would take to get here? I'm thinking it could be here within like a week, which means so it ships out on a Monday, it could be here on the Thursday or Friday. I'm hoping on the Thursday because on the Friday there is a possibility of me going on another little weekend trip actually. So yeah, so that order is still coming. And I ordered those on the 4th of January. So they've been sitting for a while. I've been waiting for this order for quite some time actually. And then I have just ordered another 4 games today actually. A couple of them are kind of expensive or could get expensive, and those are 2 Shantae games. They were actually cheaper for me to go through PlayAsia than they were if I went through Amazon. I think Amazon would have been about $140 for both or so, maybe $180, somewhere in that range. So I got them for a pretty okay price. The first one was the Genie Hero Ultimate Edition for about $40, which is actually a pretty good deal considering that game, as of recording, is it's about $70. And then the other one, which is Seven Sirens, is like $100 and something, like $150 basically, for the Switch, because that's a limited run version. But this one is a Japanese version. Both of them are Japanese, but both have English subtitles, so that's fine. So yeah, it's those ones. I decided, okay, pull the trigger, get them. And then the other 2 are a little bit cheaper. Still not hyper expensive, but still around that $40 price point, which is House Flipper, which is a US version. And then I also picked up Okami as well. I finally picked up that game as well. I'm still tempted to pick up Witchspring and Doki Doki, but those ones luckily I can pick up off of Amazon for about the same price as what I would be getting them from PlayAsia. But to get the 2 Shantae games for like basically $90 is actually a pretty decent deal. So like I said, I'm waiting for those 4 to come in, and you might be wondering, do you have space in the shelf behind you? I hope. If I've done my math correctly, which is 8 games that are still, well, actually technically 9 games because I have a game that's coming from eBay. I should have some space, more space behind me in that shelf there. So yeah. So why can't I? There we go. So yeah, so I'm still waiting for, what's that? 4, 8, 9. I'm still waiting for 9 games. So that's a total of 18 games. Sorry, no, I've done my math wrong. 8, 9. Yeah, 4. Oh, I did do my math right somehow. I just did it a different way. Wait. 8? Wait, hold on a second. No, I did my math wrong because I have Anyways, I should have space behind me. If I do have to extend it, I do have the material to do it. Takes around 7-8 hours to print the sides, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so yeah, so I'm actually just checking eBay right now because, like I said, I do have a game coming from eBay, and I still haven't seen anything for it. And I bought it, so it should be here in April to May, like beginning of April, end of May. And this one wasn't hyper cheap. It was like $62 US, so that's like 80. What would what was it? 62. What was 62? Yeah, so it's about $90 Canadian as of recording, but it would have been like 80 something when I bought it. But this one is coming directly from Japan, so hence why it's taking a little longer. It's estimated right now like May 30th, so January. So yeah, so I'm hoping it arrives before then, because there could be another postal strike, which I hope there isn't. And you might be wondering, like, how are you keeping track of all these? So basically, when I like to do sort of a recap of Switch games that I've gotten over the year. I tried to remember what games I got last year, so 24, and I couldn't remember all of them. I knew there were some that I had bought, or I had thought I'd bought in 24, but in reality I bought them in 23, so I talked about them in 24. But what I've done now is whenever I've bought a game physically, these are physical only games. I'm actually literally looking at a spreadsheet right now on my other monitor that I have basically four different columns basically. So what are the games? Where did I buy them from? When did I buy them? And when did they arrive? So, yeah, so meaning like, so let's say for example, Final Fantasy, let me actually pull a couple games actually. Yeah, I guess I can pull them. So this was PlayStation, this was Amazon, this was VGP. Yeah. Oh, actually, did I pick up anything from eBay? No. Oh, actually. So, I basically picked up, or not picked up, but I picked out a few of the games that I have seen beside me that you can see from one from each site that I've used to get the games. And some of them I have bought physically in store, and then there were some that I had to get shipped to me, even though I had bought it physically in store, just because they were sold out of it that day. So yeah, so like if I've picked up a game physically, like walked into, let's say, a Best Buy or a GameStop, it goes in the same list here, but instead of the arrive date, like the order date and the arrive date is the same date. So, for example, picked up Atari 50. This is the extended collection, so this is just a steelbook version. I was actually tempted to pick up a UK version, but I paid like $50 for it or something Canadian, so I'm like, you know what, I'll pick it up. I don't have to get it shipped. This was one that I picked up physically, actually, from a GameStop. So yeah, comes with everything. So yeah, so this one was a GameStop purchase. And then the other three that I have sitting beside me are from, one of them is from, let me just make sure I'm getting, yeah, so I have one from PlayAsia, one from VGP, and I have one from Amazon. And you might be wondering, like, do you buy stuff off of Amazon? I do, actually. At least I haven't had an issue buying games off of Amazon, actually. A lot of my, or I shouldn't say a lot, some of my PS4 stuff was off of Amazon. Yeah, a lot of my PS4 stuff was off of Amazon. Some of my Halo collection was off of Amazon because I needed to rebuy some stuff. Like Halo 2, which is the copy that's sitting there. That's not a proper copy. That was just sort of the behind-the-scenes disc. So I do have a proper OG Halo 2 copy now sitting in my collection behind me, as well as ODST. I never actually owned a physical copy of ODST. I only owned it digitally through Master Chief Collection. So got that into the collection, I should say, recently. I think I got that like last year in the collection. So I haven't had an issue with Amazon. I don't like using Amazon that much for video games, especially very, very hyper expensive games. The only one that I did go through Amazon to get, because I didn't know how many listings I could find for it, even though it was hyper expensive, was my copy of 3D All-Stars. That game is hyper expensive. Like, I paid over $200 used for it. Like, that's what we're talking about at this point for it, which is just ridiculous. So some of these games I do have duplicates of. Actually, two of them I actually have duplicates of, just because, again, they are kind of expensive, kind of also hard to find. Let me talk about those two first. Final Fantasy 1-6 Pixel Remastered. This was from Video Game Plus. So when I saw that it was on sale after I had ordered a Switch version, and the Switch version, like I said, is sitting in the wall behind me. I think I paid like $70 for it because it was on sale. And then I picked up a PS4 copy as well. And I sometimes do that if a very hyper expensive game, and this collection is typically about $112, $113 with tax. I paid like $70 for it. I'm going to pick up 2 copies. This is brand new. As you can see, there's the full sticker sheet. So I ended up grabbing 2 copies of it, just so that I know I have copies in my collection. Sometimes I'll buy games like that for just to have in the collection. If I ever want to play it, I can. I don't have to go out and hunt down a copy. That's like 3D All-Stars, for example. I wanted to kind of actually play it. So I thought, you know what, grab it for the price, even though I hated paying what I paid for it. It is what it is. But yeah. So I do own second copy of this, like I said, on Switch. So this came from Video Game Plus. This came from Best Buy, or sorry, not Best Buy, GameStop. We will talk about this one, I guess, next. So this is one of the visual novels I picked up, and I might actually look at doing a full deep dive, if you guys want, into sort of the visual novels that I have in the collection behind me once the second order comes, because there's some, I believe, a visual novel in that order. I can't remember 100%. I can double check, actually. Let me just double check. Because it was such a long time since I've ordered that. I think there might be. This is, what are you? You are. Nope. Are you the visual novel? No, you're not a visual novel. And you aren't either. No. Okay. So I guess there was only... And this is also the... action. Okay, so I might be looking at the... I know the... Okay, I guess there was only one visual novel that I ordered off of PlayAsia. Yeah, so... Yeah, so this is the one. So if you guys want to see what visual novels I have in my collection behind me, I'm more than happy to do it. I don't have a lot in my collection. I think I have, what, like 4? I have Food Girls 1 and 2, Nurse Love Obsession, finally, that was an expensive one, and then I have Love Call Me, which plays in English. I haven't actually touched it yet, but again, this one was from PlayAsia. I don't think it was that expensive, I don't think. How much was that? Yeah, it was about $40. So, like I said, I do have some more stuff coming. Yeah, so there's that one. This order just arrived. This one plus the other 4 that was in the same order. I picked up like on Monday, the 20th, I think. Yeah, 20th. Because they tried to deliver on the 17th. Unfortunately, they basically didn't want to deliver. So picked that up on the 20th, right before the trip. And then, yeah, so basically at the end of the year, I will reference this list here, go to my collection behind me, pull those games that I bought this year, and I will sort of talk about them. Why did I buy them? Stuff like that. And it's just a good reference to sort of see, okay, how many games did I order this year. So, yeah, so I am actually looking at the second order right now just to see if they updated it for shipping, which they haven't yet. And now we get into one of the more expensive games that I have bought off of Amazon, actually. And again, I don't really buy a lot of expensive games off of Amazon, typically. There's only been, what, 4 expensive games I bought off of Amazon? Like as a single order. Sometimes I do double up on stuff. Like, for example, Food Girls and Food Girls 2, that was one order. That was about $140, I think. Or was it 160? What was that order? Bu- 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 yeah, that was about 160 for those two. So they're not going to be in this list because I bought them last year. But Nurse Love Obsession is going to be in this list, and that's an expensive one. That was like over $100, $106. Stupid expensive because it was distributed by Limited Run, kind of hard to find. So I paid what I had to for it. Very happy to have it in the collection behind me. This next one, like I said, I hate having to buy duplicate copies of games. I only do it in very, very sort of certain circumstances. Like, if I know the game's going to be expensive or hard to find physically, I'll buy a digital copy to basically always have a digital version of. So if and when I do have either the budget or the time, or could even find a physical copy, I know I have a digital back that I can play, and then I can keep the physical just for the collection. And that is what this game is. Because I knew I always wanted to play it, which is Celeste, but I could never find a physical copy for under $80 basically. Recently, I should have picked it up when it first released at market price, but of course I'm always late to buy a bunch of stuff like Celeste and Super Mario 3D All-Stars on launch. But I did pay not stupid for it, but I did kind of pay some I would consider above market for it. And I bought it literally the day before I left. I bought it January 21st, so a week. What was it? A week yesterday. And it arrived like 2 days ago. It arrived actually on Monday. So super happy to have it in the collection. Like I said, I typically don't buy duplicate copies. The only time I really do buy duplicates is if I could get a good deal on a physical copy, even though I own a digital copy of it, I'll kind of do it. Or if it's a series that I really enjoy, then I'll buy physicals, even though I own digitals of all of them. That being Last of Us. I have Last of Us on pretty much every console now, from PS3, PS4, PC. The only one I'm missing on PC at the moment is Part 2. Or if a game is on sale that I already own, like Cyberpunk, for example, I own that on PS4 and PC. Or if the game is on sale and from what its launch price was, being Final Fantasy 1 to 6 Pixel Remastered, then obviously I'll buy a duplicate copy, because it can definitely jump up in price or back up to what it typically sells for. Like, for example, here, I'm actually on my Amazon right now, actually. So yeah, like right now, Final Fantasy 1 to 6 for Switch is like $112 on Amazon. Kind of stupid expensive, but I didn't pay that. I paid, like I said, like $70 for it. So kind of happy I did. I kind of wish I bought this around launch. And it's a physical copy of Celeste. Yeah, I finally bought a physical copy, and again, I don't mind showing the code here because the code has expired. Expired June of last year. So, yeah. So this is a U.S. version. I could have picked up a Japanese copy for about $50, but I'm like, the artwork for that is kind of different than what this is, but this is the ESRB version. So I do typically try to get North American versions of games. There are a few that I have in my collection that are either Japanese or Asian versions, just because sometimes they're a little bit cheaper. So like for example, Love Call Me here, I believe was I believe it was, yeah, this is the Asian version. I believe, yeah, and this is the only version that you can get. And actually, 3 of the 5 games from the first PlayAsia order are exclusive. So Love Call Me is exclusive. Death Road to Canada, which is sitting behind me in the collection, and Tokyo Clan Pool as well was and is an exclusive. So, which was basically the main reason why I bought a bunch of stuff off of PlayAsia, was because I know shipping can get kind of expensive. So, yeah. So basically, I will be doing a full rundown at the end of the year of every single game that I have bought in 2025, talking about where I bought them, why I bought them, stuff like that. Is it to play or is it for the collection? This one, like I said, Celeste, this is for the collection. I own a digital version. So yeah, it is opened, so if I do want to play a physical copy, I can, but this is just going to stay in the collection behind me. But yeah, so that's sort of where I get a bunch of my games from. Like now, like I do try to get a lot of stuff in store when I can, but I also don't mind picking stuff up online, like from Amazon or eBay or PlayAsia in some cases, like Love Call Me. So, like I said, I do have one coming that is from Japan. For the Switch, which is actually the first time I've actually bought a Switch game off of eBay. Actually, the 2 360 games there that you see in the corner, being Halo 3 and Godfather, those ones were actually from Japan. So Halo 3 came directly from Japan, whereas Godfather came from BC. But it's a Japanese version, and there is no English subtitles on the Godfather, unfortunately. In that case, I should have just bought an ESRB version, but it is what it is. Like I said, all these Switch games do work. Like the Switch is region free, same with the PS4. So I know a lot of these games will work. So yeah. And you might be wondering, like, oh, like, are you working on a big unboxing video? I am actually at the moment. I'm still waiting for the second order from PlayAsia to arrive. and then the third order from PlayAsia, which is the order that I just put in today. Actually, when did I put in that order? Actually, I know I put it in today. What time did I put in that order? I put in that order at. It should tell me. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't tell me when I put in this order. All it tells me is like I ordered it today. I could look back at when I. Actually, give me a sec here. I can do it this way. Yeah, it was about 10 a.m. when I put in this order. So, yeah, so it was about 10 a.m. when I put in the order, just after 10. So, yeah, so, yeah, so super happy I did, because actually one of the games in the order, and that being Okami, only had literally, I think it was like 48 hours or something left to be able to grab it. So I did grab it. Luckily, it does have English on it. So it has Japanese, English, French, and German. Obviously, I'm going to be playing it in English because I believe there might be a sequel coming. So I thought, you know what, grab the original. So I did. I didn't even realize House Flipper was on cartridge. Like, I thought it was like a download, but I guess I was wrong. So, and I know obviously there is DLC for it. So that is one of the only. Yeah, that's the only US version that I have coming. Everything else is a Japanese version. So, Half Genie Hero Ultimate, Okami, and Shantae and the Seven Sirens. All of those are Japanese editions, but all have English. So yeah, so like I said, like I knew I was going to be getting both of the Shantae games, but because they can get kind of expensive, and I wanted to sort of jump on them before they get hyper expensive. And I actually don't know what the last Shantae game is. Anyways, I hope it's not Seven Sirens. So I need to take a look at that series, actually. So yeah, so that's sort of where I get a bunch of my games now. I do still try to get a bunch of stuff digitally when I can, even though I prefer physical copies. But with Celeste, I knew how hard it was going to be to try to find a physical copy for sub $80. When I saw it for like $87 at the end of it, I was like, you know what, screw it. It's expensive, a little bit out of your budget, but knowing how expensive that game can get, I was willing to pull the trigger. And I will also do a video maybe tomorrow actually, because my plans have actually changed. Sort of talking about sort of the visual novels I have in my collection, sitting behind me, and sort of like how did I get them? How did I hear about them? Do I recommend them? Stuff like that. What I can say off the bat is if you can get Food Girls and Food Girls 2 Civil War for a decent price, I would jump on them. I paid a little bit more for them. I paid about $160, so about $80 a piece if you break it down. Kind of expensive, but they are exclusive to Japan. They only released in Japan, so that's kind of why they're expensive. Nurse Love Obsession, like I said, was distributed by Limited Run here in North America. Kind of hard to find and can get also kind of expensive. Like I said, I paid about just over $100 for it. So again, one of the more pricey visual novels that I have in my collection. And then this one, like I said, was about $40. So for 40, I thought, you know what, grab it. It's a trilogy. It's all 3 games on 1 cartridge. So I was like, you know what, grab it. So I did, and obviously once I get the 2 orders from PlayAsia, I'll record the 2 unboxings. It would actually be kind of funny if actually both of them arrive around the same time. I know the first order probably will be here earlier than the 3rd order, just because I paid for express on that one, whereas the 3rd order, which I did today, probably will be here end of February to middle of March, just because of shipping. I didn't pay express for that one, because also a lot of these PlayAsia orders for me are hyper expensive. Like the first order was well over 200, the second one was over 200, this one was about 160. So, and like I said, the bulk of the 3rd order's price was because of the 2 Shantae games. So I always do try to spend a little bit more in some cases, so then I can avoid paying shipping. And that's what I do when I buy 3D printing material. I always buy more than what I typically need because I don't want to pay shipping. But most of these games that I have behind me had free shipping or no shipping at all if I picked them up physically. Like this had no shipping on it. This had about $16 of shipping, which is stupid expensive. This had free shipping. This one obviously had free shipping because it was part of another order. But yeah, most of the games I have seen behind me had some shipping to no shipping at all. If you guys do want to see a rundown of the collection behind me for Switch, I don't mind doing that. I might just do it anyways, just see how it does. Just pull out all the games and sort of talk about why I bought them and stuff like that. I do actually need to buy some spare Switch cases, actually, so I might try to get some from PlayAsia, actually, or Amazon, because I know I have a couple in there that the plastic has basically shredded, and the one that I know of off the top of my head is Pokemon Violet, with how I had it originally sitting in an old shelving unit that I found and printed. And before I went to this sort of stacked version that I did, that I found. So, yeah. So, anyways, bye-bye.